especially guys on defense, they're talking about this is a game of kind of redemption. There's some bad taste in their mouths from that last one. Can you identify with what they mean by that?
Yeah, I wish I could remember, but like I've told you before, I remember Winnipeg putting 60 on us here when I was with Hamilton.
They did?
Oh, yeah.
And then after that, what do you think?
Well, that's the thing. I don't remember the idea of how we attacked the next opponent. We weren't very good, so.
Yeah.
But
A player who, especially guys who, you know.
hey, they're a proud group, you know. They watch the film and they want to fix it, you know. But you got to get past that emotion and into a much bigger picture with external focus, not, you know, that bad taste in your mouth has to actually result in better play, not, you know,
Not just anger.
yeah.
Jordan Younger was saying the other day that he thought the defense lost its composure in that fourth quarter. But you don't hear that a lot. How does that happen? Or do you agree? Was it?
Yeah, I think at times, absolutely, you can see it on film, you know.
Is that just reeling from a big play, or?
Yeah, honestly, I would think it comes from wanting to make perfect plays, wanting to make the play, wanting to, you know, they're thinking so hard about, oh, I got to make this tackle and stop them and get them off the field that they lose sight of the job they're being asked to do. And I'm not saying that they're chasing numbers or anything like that. I just think that they, you know, the pressure that some guys are putting on themselves that gets them out of the system a little bit.
Like you said the other day, almost trying too hard at times.
Yeah, yep.
So
But
what does redemption look like then on Friday? How do you expect your defense to play?
well, I think redemption for them, and I believe if it was a little longer conversation, not just a question, I believe the conversation would end up back at the point of being in the right place at the right time, you know, executing the assignment on that play, and then executing the assignment on the next play, and executing the assignment on the next play. But it would be, you know, back to back to back to back of just clean execution. You know, there will be missed tackles, there will be catches made in front of you, there will be those types of things. But you can't compound the issue by being in the wrong spot and then missing a tackle or not even having a chance at the tackle you should make, you know. So I believe that they would be really focused on making their play, and that being executing their assignment, play in and play out over and over and over again for 50, 60, whatever, 70, whatever plays, the number of plays it takes, right? I think that would feel, the outcome then would feel like redemption.
If there's one bad play, do they need a reminder then, you
No.
think, or shouldn't, right?
No,
Shouldn't.
no, I don't think so. I don't think it's like that. I think they used up their allotment of plays that they'd like to have back, you know.
Mike, do you factor in desperation when you're playing an opponent? Like, when you look at a team
No.
as O&A, like, can you factor in, does it ever lead to something, you know, more energy for the other opponent, maybe some bad intentions? Like, is there anything you need to concern yourself with a team that's O&A?
What's really easy to me is always expecting your opponent's best. If you go in always knowing that they're going to be well coached, they're going to play their hardest, they're going to compete, it's going to be physical, and you always expect your opponent's best, I don't think you have the ability to let down, you know? You just always know that. For lesser athletes like you and I always know we can get beat, right? It's I think the really high-end guys that are like, wow, I'm just, you know, I can win this rep easily, right? But if you always know that there's the ability of your opponent to to school you up, you know, I think you run less of a risk of faltering, right? So I think we just always approach every opponent the same, whatever their record is. It doesn't really matter. Just expect their best all the time.
You think it would be more difficult for them by firing their defensive coordinator, losing their top receiver, you know, releasing other veteran starters or whatever, but maybe that's similar to injuries, maybe not on the coaching side. Is there anything different about this team, given that they've made several changes, including to starters in the last X amount of weeks?
Well, you would believe that the next guy that's stepping on the field has proven something that says he's going to play really well. And I think you would be safe to say that they're a pro athlete, pro football player, and they're going to bring their best. You know, the challenge may be you might not have enough film for a little nuance here and there or something that can give you a bit of an edge. You know, and I think with Jeff Reinbold, there's still some thought about what exactly is he trying to put together as a defense, right? They're still fairly new.
Jeff Reinbold in defense doesn't usually a special teams guy, no?
Oh,
No?
I mean,
I remember him in Winnipeg in his motorcycle.
yeah, I've been around him
The water
enough.
bottles
I've been
section.
around him enough. I think that guy can coach wherever, coach positions across offense and defense and special teams. He's a coach. He's a lifer coach, and when you're around him, you realize that he's got bits of information for anybody that's playing football around him. And you know, I mean, quite some time ago, whenever it was, whatever CFL deal it was interesting to watch him work because he was nonstop coaching.
I want to ask you one more, but it's kind of not a weird question, but not about the game. You played with a lot of kickers, obviously, in your day. You played special teams a lot in your day. What's your expectation for a kicker knowing the X's and O's of special teams?
Different for every guy.
Yeah?
I mean, you know very quickly whether or not that's in their wheelhouse, right?
Do you
But
have many kickers that was in their wheelhouse, I guess is my more specific question? Like, there are many kickers who knew everything about special teams, knew all the rules, knew all the...
Prefontaine, Vanderjagt, Ozzie, yeah, absolutely. But there's some that don't. Borum, probably Grant Shaw. I don't know. Like, yes.
I just find Serge, you know, he tries, but he doesn't know the rules.
Yeah, you know what? But he's
I don't think he needs to
point.
know the
Yeah,
rules.
the point would be that is he just gets a little bit better and a little bit better. I mean, that would be good, but it's not necessary.
Yeah,
It's
no.
definitely not necessary.
Yeah, it's not
The
being
difference
fair,
is,
it's fine.
you know, like a guy like Prefontaine played quarterback. He was a third-string quarterback in the first iteration of the XFL, and he was a DB in high school. And I mean, the guy was an unbelievable athlete. Had the best hands on our team as our punter, right? And Vanderjagt, same thing. He could go out and, I mean, those guys they ran scout teams for us and beat most guys at some point, you know, running routes or playing DB or doing whatever. They would play both sides of the ball. They're just that talented athletically, right?
Serge played D-line, just so you know.
Well, he's,
Those guys coaching now,
I don't know.
Mike, is there anything that you've seen from Jake Ceresna this year that maybe you didn't know before he got here that made you kind of go like, okay, I can see why this guy's been in pro football for a decade?
Well, I think on a, you know, see him every day level, it's just nice to get to know him a little better and listen to him talk or see the interactions amongst the teammates. That stuff you wouldn't have a great handle on, you know, as much as you'd like, probably before you sign a guy, but it's been awesome. I think he's a great fit in terms of the work ethic and the play style and his effectiveness, his execution. That's all visible, right? I think maybe one of the things would be you would never know how much time they would put in, you know, on their own to be the pro that they are. You would assume that they would be putting in more time than others. And then very quickly you recognize, yeah, that's one of the reasons why he's so good is he's puts a lot of work into his craft. It's not a short day for him.
Is there an example of that, something that we don't see with Jake, where it's like he is putting in that extra time to get to the level that he's at right now?
Yeah, he's in the meeting room all the time. He's in the weight room all the time. He's taking care of his body all the time. I mean, you wouldn't see that, but that's what he does. His day is long.
I know you don't care where a guy went to school or where he got drafted or didn't get drafted or whatever, but Jake, he's from a town that has never produced a pro football player before, and he played Division III football as well. So just what does it just say about a guy that he, you know, despite not being from Texas, Alabama, D1, whatever, he's, you know, again, a decade into his career, and he's had one of the best probably careers out of a pass rusher in this league in the past couple of years.
Yeah, I think that story is, like, he has been a pro for a long time and been very good. So I think that story is, I don't know, I don't even probably think about it anymore. You wouldn't think about it anymore. But yeah, it is interesting to see where guys come from. And, the reason that he stayed in that spot or was there, those are other kind of conversations, right? Because lots of guys move around now. It's a really different NCAA now, right? So sometimes you're a late bloomer. Sometimes nobody scouts your high school team. Who knows, right? But I think it's a great reminder that if you're talented and you have the kind of work ethic that Jake Ceresna and a lot of our guys do, people will find you. Good things will happen.